Okay, everybody, I know. It can be really confusing with so many microphones available. Which one is right for you? What, sir? Oh, you just want to sound good when you're playing Call of Duty? What? Oh, you want to look good and sound good when you're streaming to Twitch? You're interested in making podcasts? Don't worry, I've got all the answers in terms of what is the best microphone to use. Yeah, it can be confusing, can't it? With the range of microphones that seem to be available, ranging from as little as $30 to $300+. So how do you know which is the best microphone for your setup and for your use case? So I'm going to be looking at a range of microphones from Fifine. Now, Fifine make really good budget microphones, but at all the price ranges. And in my experience, Fifine always punches above its weight. So you might be looking at a well-known brand like Elgato, Shure, Rode mic, any of those. There may be a Fifine version of that type of mic that you're looking for that will do the job just as well, but at a much better price. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive in and check out these mics. Okay, so first up is this, the Fifine Ampligame A6V microphone. This is very much an entry-level microphone. Now, I have it a bit higher than I would normally have it because I want you to see it in shot and all of that. This is really good if you're just getting into maybe upping your audio quality. Maybe you just use the built-in microphone on your laptop, or you use a microphone in your headset and you just want to sound a bit better when you're playing Call of Duty or something like that. You want a microphone that sort of matches your gaming setup with a kind of nice glowing RGB and all of that, at the same time while delivering reasonable audio, but certainly a big leap up from using your microphone if you're doing, I don't know, Zoom calls or Microsoft Team calls and you're using the built-in mic or a work headset or anything like that. The sound quality of that is never very good. This, for $30 to $40 price range, depending where you get it from, is a great starting point. And this is plug and play. So it's a USB-C to USB-C or USB-A connection here. You just plug it into your laptop, you plug it into your Mac, you can even plug it into your PlayStation, and instantly your audio is going to be improved and at a cheap price. And it comes with its own stand as well. So I'll just lift this up here, as you can see there. Comes with its own little stand. Now, personally, I find the stand a bit low. You might want to put it on a microphone arm, a boom arm. I've got a beautiful one from Fifine as well, but they even do a cheaper one, a sort of a spring hinged one as well that you can use. Definitely worth looking into that. But this works really well, as I say, with built-in tripod. It's got a built-in shock mount as well, so hopefully that will deal with any desk bangs and stuff like that, especially when you're gaming and things like that. You want to avoid that. It's got its own built-in pop filter as well, so Peter picked a pickled pepper. Bang the microphone there. Peter picked a pickled pepper, all of that. Those plosives, hopefully it will eradicate a lot of those plosives that can be really, really annoying. So yeah, everything you need to get going. This is an ideal microphone if you are starting out on your audio journey and you just want to have something that looks really good, but for the price, sounds really good. This is really kind of budget pocket friendly. And secondly, yeah, I think if you also do a lot of Zoom call meetings or Microsoft Team meetings and stuff like that, again, this is going to improve your sound quality. And Zoom meetings, Microsoft Team meetings, just like making YouTube videos, audio is everything. Nobody minds if you have a fizzy picture, but if your audio sucks, it's a real turn off in those meetings. This will change the game for you. So as I said, really nice setup, super cheap, and yet, as with all Fifine products, I mean, this is a design award winner from 2022. It looks really nice. I mean, it's very lightweight, feels plasticky and all of that, but it looks great. As I said, from an audio point of view, considering you're paying $30 to $40 for this, audio-wise, it punches above its weight. So there you go. That's why you might want to consider the Fifine Ampligame A6V USB microphone. I forgot to mention also the volume dial as well. So it's got its own volume dial before I finish here on the bottom. So you can change the volume. So if I just take you down there, slowly bring it up, 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 bring it up. And there we are, your own gain knob all built in. So really easy to use. And if you're not sure, or maybe you've got, I don't know, you've got a son or a daughter who's sort of into gaming and they want to up their audio sound and stuff when they're playing with their mates, and they want it also to look good on their setup. Well, for $30 to $40, this is a good starting place, to sort of on their journey into the world of microphones, because as we will see, you can steadily spend more and more money. So it's important you know what you're getting for your money. But there you go. Ampligame A6V USB microphone. Let me know what you thought of the sound. Did it sound all right to you for the price? Bearing in mind the price, let me know in the comments down below. Next mic. Okay, next up is this. This is the Ampligame AM8 USB/XLR dynamic microphone. Now, dynamic microphones are much more robust than your standard condenser mics. With a microphone like this, you're beginning to get a bit more serious. Now, the fact that it is USB/XLR means it is plug and play. Again, it comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable. You can plug it in, you're off to go. You've got controls on the back of it here. There's a 3.5mm headphone socket on the back, so you can monitor your sound as well. So you're beginning to get a bit more pro looking. It's still got the gamer flashing lights. Now, I don't have it plugged in for the gamer flashing lights. Might I just plug it in now just to show you? So it's got like customizable RGB. So there we are. Now I've got this connected up to XLR. Now with XLR cable, doesn't come with an XLR cable. You have to buy that separate. For that more professional sound quality, you definitely want to use an XLR, and you will need some kind of audio interface. For example, this is going through this Ampligame here, Ampli 1 XLR interface as well. So there, all the controls are on the actual audio interface. So I can't control it from here, but you can when it's plugged in USB. Basically, the sort of audio interface is built into this when you're using USB-C, so you can control, you can mute it, you can change the colors, you can take the colors off. There's a button here for all of that. So it looks really good. It suits a gaming setup and all of that. And as I said, you've got that versatility. So maybe you're not ready to quite go XLR and audio interface. Maybe you don't want to fork out for an audio interface, but you just want to plug and play and yet have the versatility and the controls built onto the microphone, so you can kind of alter the sound quality. You can monitor yourself and all of that. This is a great halfway house on that kind of journey, that microphone journey. And I find this is great if you're into gaming and, streaming to Twitch or streaming to YouTube. My son uses this all the time. Not only is his general microphone when he's gaming with his mates and Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, whatever it is, he uses this mic because the sound quality is really good and all his mates think he sounds amazing. But also for streaming, as I said, it looks good with the kind of RGB lights that you can customize and all of that. It's got a pop filter sort of built in, so hopefully not too much of that. It comes with a stand. Again, I put this on a microphone boom arm, a cheap one here. The thing about this cheap one is every time you bang it, it goes boing, 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 boing. If you are going to invest in a microphone arm, it's worth getting a decent one, and Fifine do one, which I'll show you later. But yeah, as I said, built-in pop filter, all of that. Comes with its own stand. Currently, I've stuck it on this one here, which we'll be looking at in a minute, but it comes with its own stand. But if you have this on the table below you, it's probably a little bit too far away. So you'd have to kind of lift it up and that kind of thing. But yeah, generally, this is what it sounds like. As I said, it's about 9.3 inches long from the sort of stem where it screws in all the way to the top there. And for this, you're looking at anywhere between sort of $50 to $60, which is, not bad. It's a different level. But if you look at the shape of it, you're probably competing here with Elgato Wave type. And that's going to cost you upwards of $70, $80 for an Elgato Wave. This is what this is competing with, I would say, in terms of sound quality, but not in terms of price. Once again, Fifine punching above their weight. But again, let me know what you think of the sound quality down in the comments below. Again, I'm using this through an audio interface. Hopefully I've got all the levels kind of correct because I'm swapping microphone to microphone really quickly. But there you go. What else can I tell you about this microphone? It comes with a 3/8 inch thread and a 5/8 inch thread. Try saying that when you've had a drink. As I said, this is beautiful foam covering here, really nice. Controls on the back, works with desktop, works with laptop, works with PS4 or PS5, or you can plug it into a mixer, an audio mixer like the Fifine audio mixer, which I'll show you on screen here, or the audio interface from Fifine, which I've got here, or any audio interface that you've got. Actually, I've used it with other audio interfaces as well. It's touch sensitive, so if you are using USB and then you just touch it on the back here, it mutes and all of that. So yeah, it's got that overall gaming vibe. It brightens your voice. I think it's quite good for gaming and Twitch because it's quite good if you're like me and you're sort of moving about when you're gaming and stuff like that. Although it's a dynamic mic and they really work best with sort of proximity, this one really sort of captures and gives that kind of brightness to your voice, in my opinion. But anyway, let me know, even when you're moving about like this, if you're gaming like I do. That's why I think it's ideal for people, you know, for Twitch streamers and people like that. But there you go. Ampligame AM8 microphone. Again, comments down below what you think about the sound quality. Okay. Right. Next up, we've got this. This is the Amplitank TANK3. I don't know why they call it the Amplitank and not the Ampligame, but it is a tank. Trust me, I'll just lift it up here. This is a beast, this one. It weighs quite a bit. It's really heavy because it is metal. This is a proper, robust, dynamic mic, and it can take the bashes and stuff like that. And now we are getting much more towards a slightly more podcasty type content creator sort of audio sound, in my opinion here. Very neutral sounds, which give you the versatility in post-production, but it is a robust dynamic mic. Again, this one is USB-C or XLR. So again, you could just plug it in. It comes with an 8.2 foot, 2.5 meter USB-C USB-A cable. Sometimes with Fifine cables, I find they have the USB-A adapter. So underneath it's a USB-C. So if you can plug USB-C to USB-C, then that's great. It's got controls on the side here. Now again, you see here, again, these controls only work when you have it plugged in via USB-C, because if you're using XLR, you're going to be using a sound card or a sound interface, and the controls will be on that, as mentioned before. Like I keep repeating, this one that I'm currently using. So I'm using an XLR cable. Doesn't come with an XLR cable, and that's going through the audio interface, and that's what you're listening to now. But yeah, this is a really robust dynamic mic with kind of a neutral quality to it, which I really like because you get that clarity. And as I said, in post-production, then you can bring up the bass if you want to bring up the bass and all of that. So that's what I really like it. I think it looks really great. It's another design winner as well. This doesn't come with a tripod. It just comes with this connector here. I put it on a stand at the moment, this bit here. So you'll definitely want a good, solid microphone arm, as I said, like the Fifine one that I've got. At the moment, I'm just propped it up on some boxes because I'm using all the microphone arms for other microphones at the moment. But I really like this one. It is a solid, solid beast. As I said, it's got a cardioid polar pattern on it. It's got noise reducing silicone in there. There's a windproof cotton thing on the front. You can't see it. It's all in the microphone. This is metal. Just tap there, that'll be annoying. So yeah, really good. Hopefully we'll take out some of the plosives. I find it still picks up some of the plosives more than some of the other ones with a kind of more sort of cushioned cover on it. But yeah, these are ideal. Dynamic mics work best, as I said, with proximity. So if I'm like here, a dynamic cardioid mic, although it's picking up sound around just around here, I find with close proximity, you begin to get that kind of radio sounding voice. Welcome to, if you're in the UK, welcome to Radio 4. Kind of nice, crisp kind of sound that you get. And it's also great for untreated rooms. I mean, who has a treated room? If you're the sort of person that game streams or does podcasts and you've got a treated room, you're probably spending 300 quid on a microphone. You know, not what you'd be spending on this. As I said, this is around, what kind of price we got here? This is around sort of $80 mark. You'll find, depending where you're buying it from. And yet you're getting, it feels, there's nothing plastic about this. It feels like a quality product, as I said. But the great thing about a dynamic mic like this is it works in a non-treated room, like my room, which is awful really for sound. I've got like a window in front of me, which is the worst possible thing you can have. So yeah, this is one of the reasons I really like this mic. And as I said, you still got that growth path. If you still, you don't have an audio interface, you still want to use USB. But if you're getting more serious, maybe getting into sort of just chatting, podcast type things, then yeah, this microphone is really, really good for that. And it is a solid beast. I would say this is competing with the Rode mic. Yeah, so this is my Rode mic here, and I would say this is on a par with the Rode mic, but again, coming in at a much better price than a Rode mic, and I'd say this is on a par with the Rode mic. So there you go. Again, once again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of the sound quality? Have you used this? How would you use this in your setup? I'd be interested to know. Comments down below. Next mic. Next up, we have this, the Fifine K688 USB/XLR microphone. Again, this is plug and play out the box with its USB cable. It's a 2.5mm USB-C to USB-A cable. Plug and play. You've got controls at the back here for gain, so you can change the gain and all of that of the microphone, and you also self-monitoring, so you can plug in a headset or headphones and monitor your sound directly as well, or you can plug it into XLR into a sound interface like the Fifine Ampligame 1 or something like that, or their other sort of little gamer mixer if you want, and you get that slightly better quality sound. Although I'm beginning to find that the difference between connecting via USB-C and XLR isn't that great. Maybe just XLR just edges it, but the USB-C microphones are improving. But anyway, yeah, that kind of update path is there should you need it, should you not be ready with an interface. But if you can get an interface, I highly recommend that. Again, the gain controls and the monitoring and stuff don't work so much when you don't have USB-C in, because you'd be using the sound interface. So it's just worth noting that. Comes with a built-in shock adapter, a shock mount, so hopefully eliminate those desk bangs and stuff like that. I mount this on my Fifine microphone arm here, the slightly more low arm one, which just looks really nice and slick, so it just kind of merges in that. You can see by its shape, this looks more like a Shure SM7B type microphone, and that's who it's competing with. But I said, this comes in about $70 to $80, same sort of price range as the Tank 3. So it's going to come down to whatever you think will suit your voice best. This has a slightly more kind of richer bass. I mean, it's marginal really. So if you have a kind of slightly more bass-like voice, I think this might suit you well. Again, it's dynamic cardioid, so it has that if you're close up for that kind of proximity, for that kind of Radio 4 sounding voice. Hopefully that sounds all right. But generally as well, this has got a nice friendly kind of voice to it, nice and bright sounding tones. It's easy to drive signal. You don't have to crank up the gain or anything like that. So yeah, really, although it's a nice minimalist looking, professional looking microphone, it's easy to use. It's very forgiving, perfect again for kind of non-soundproofed rooms and all of that kind of stuff. Again, as I said, I'm basically in my living room here in front of a window. Awful acoustics, but this does a great job in my opinion. In terms of the cardioid pattern, again, it's like a peach shape coming around here and stuff like that. So it's quite versatile. If I move my head over here or I move my head over here, I always have it at a slight angle, and it's got a beautiful sort of soft mount cover on the top here. This is really nice. Well, I don't know what material Fifine used, but it's really nice. You get carried away just stroking that one. But there we are. It's low sensitive dynamic capsule. So that means that hopefully it will eliminate, that's why it's ideal for, a non-treated room. It eliminates the outside sounds and all of that. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As I said, this is on the same level, price level as the Tank 3, but I would say this is competing more with maybe your higher end Elgato Wave or your Shure SM7B. They do a USB version as well. Probably that level, which is kind of £150, £200 mark. Again, this is coming in at less than $100. And yeah, sound quality is doing a great job. So there you go. This is the Fifine K688 USB XLR dynamic microphone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As I said, I think this is ideal for podcast setups, voiceovers, stuff like that. And for me, which one should you get if you're at that kind of level? The Tank 3 or this will depend entirely on your voice quality, where you think it suits your voice best. I think if you have a slightly more richer, deeper, bassy voice, then this might be the one. Tank 3, I think, is kind of slightly more neutral. This has a certain brightness to it. You might not like that. You might want to add that brightness in post-production. Maybe the Tank 3 would suit you there. But yeah, this looks really nice. That's the key thing. And it sounds great. And it's not really going to bust your wallet. So there you go. Let me know in the comments down below, sound-wise, what you think. So there you go, a range of microphones at a good price that punches well above its weight for a range of cases. So let me know in the comments down below which of these mics you thought sounded best and which might suit your setup best as well. Be interested to know whether you've used any of these types of mics. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please hit the thumbs up because I like it. YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And if you're new to my channel, then hey, do me the great honor, please hit that subscribe button, toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with videos just like this. Talking of videos just like this, if you want to find out more in-depth reviews of some of these mics, why don't you check out the videos here? These ones here. Thanks for your time. Any more questions?